views and opinions expressed on Uncut 242 are those of our hosts, guests, contributors, and members of the public, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the production team. Uncut 242 is committed to presenting fair, balanced, and independent discussions on the issues affecting the Bahamas. We do not endorse or favor any political party, candidate, or special interest. Our mission is to provide a platform where the voices of everyday Bahamians can be heard. Some conversations and opinions shared on this program may be direct, unfiltered, or offensive to some viewers. However, our purpose is not to provoke, but to encourage honest dialogue about the realities, struggles, and challenges facing our nation. The stories, perspectives, and experiences shared on this program are not solely those of our hosts, but reflect the diverse voices of people throughout our communities. Thank you for joining us as we pursue meaningful conversations, transparency, and the uncut reality of life in the Bahamas. Welcome to Uncut 242.
Hello, Uncut 242. My name is Anton Powell.
And my name is Dawson Bullitt, aka Duke of Gold.
I want to welcome each and every one of you all to this amazing show today as you all come and continue tapping the screen and sharing the live. We have a special guest. We come to talk to try to find out exactly what's going on inside this country. But before I say that, I just want to say, how are you doing, my co-host?
Boy, I can tell you, it's raining. Y'all know what happens when it rains, right? We really do get wet when it rains, and some of us, we get flooded and soaked in our homes.
I think now this raining situation, 53 years, I think this is supposed to already be.
Man, listen.
What are we doing in this country?
They then say, ask La Rhoda. Ask La Rhoda. But you know the people in Pinewood can feel this rain, right? This little bit of drizzle, I know that, man. I saw the gentleman was complaining about that.
Yes.
Earlier today. Yeah, early yesterday or today, man, they's complaining about that, man. These raining and stuff, man. They got to do something, man. But boy, I hope I parked by Daswell Street. I parked there. So, boy, you think I might be that Jeep there? Because, you know, no.
It could be there. It just could be under the water when you get back there.
Boy, listen to me. Y'all, if I call y'all for a ride, y'all look here. Please pick up your phone and come on the sailboat or the jet ski to come pick me up, all right? But I know it's raining, and not to crack joke about it, but ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, we're in hurricane season. So y'all know what y'all need to do. Supply your house with canned goods. Make sure you have your life vests, and make sure that all of your radios, please get the solar ones, the ones that go with battery where you can actually carry. So just prepare yourself, because we just never know. I mean, this rain might be just a sign.
Yes.
Never know.
Yeah, so yes, like my co-host said, just try to make the necessary before it's too late. Don't wait until it's already too late.
Yes. So, are you ready?
Listen here. I can't wait. Listen, I've been itchy all day. All day I've been itching.
Man, listen, I've been thinking about the questions I want to ask our guest, but I know because he has an extensive background, and you know, he has experience all around the world internationally. So one of the things that I always wanted to know as a young boy, eating fish and growing up on the island and getting the scurves and getting all of the wilks off the rock, and you know, all of it being around sea life, you realize the value of what we have, and that we don't have to rely on just farming, which is one of the major industries on the islands, because that's where we come from. And being growing up on the island of Ilutra, you know, farming was always one of the major things. And today, having the opportunity to speak to somebody who has been around that industry for all this time, and maritime and fishing, I'm going to ask some serious questions today.
But not only that, you know what I was more excited about? I was excited about that they always portray the Bahamas as a D average, that us Bahamians, we can't strive in no place, that we got to continue just going to work in a hotel, be a slave, be a maid, and do all of this stuff. But to see the talented Bahamians that we have around the world, and not around the world, still inside the Bahamas.
Still.
And doing. Okay, good now? Okay. So yes, like I said, we have a lot of Bahamians who's around the world who's striving. It's so amazing that they say that we are D average, but the D average is only inside the Bahamas. But
Yep.
why that D average can't go when they go to the States? They have their own businesses. They're doing all of these stuff. We don't have nobody to basically push us, the Bahamians, to really go into what they love.
And that's a serious thing. And that's why I feel that even as a young boy, I got a lot of the skills that I've learned now. Even if I do decide to go off to do fishing, I can do that. But having someone to push you and motivate you, that's a whole nother story. And you need to be around somebody experienced, right?
Yeah.
And that's an industry that a lot of persons haven't tapped into. So that's one of the questions I really want to ask our guest tonight.
But without further ado,
yes, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like for you to put some thumbs, some hearts, some Bahamian flags in the comment section. Listen to me, like and share. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is uncut. You might hear a little one or two.
and you know we already had Mistress disclaimer already disclaimed what she had to disclaim. And this is my thing too. This is what I want Bahamians to understand. Us as Bahamian, we are so unique. When we speak with a lot of passion.
Yeah.
We speak with that. That's just an expression. That's how we express ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not to offend nobody, but that's how we speak. And I just want any Bahamians out there. If that's how you speak and that's how you express yourself, well, this is the show for y'all. Because we ain't doing no cutting. You ain't gonna be no beeping over here.
Yeah.
You can hear everything.
Yeah. Y'all can hear it. You can hear some people saying boongie. You can hear some people say breast. Some people say bubby. You can hear all of that.
You might even hear ass.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say the ass thing.
Yeah.
Let our guests say all the ass.
Some of them might act like a jackass. But anyway, you all listen. This show tonight is going to be very interesting. I hope you all have your popcorn, your caramel, corn apple, and cotton candy. You know how to mix it up now. You know how to mix that up.
You know black people don't eat no cotton candy, apple and thing now.
Yeah, you know
that. You know our TD ain't good for that. You know our TD is
You know that. You know they might have a Cracker Jack, so get your Cracker Jack.
Yes, right? That's that one.
So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'd like to introduce you to our guest.
Mr. Peter Murray.
Yes.
Yeah. Peter Murray, the owner of Green Parrots and also the Marina. Listen here.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go to our sponsors and then we're gonna jump right back into the show. So bear with us.
You're watching Uncut 242, and this segment is brought to you by Uncle Dita's Natural Products offers a comprehensive range of natural hair and skincare products, including hair greases, shampoos, lotions, and various other items. For inquiries regarding these exceptional natural products, please get in touch with Uncle Dita's today at 1242-809-2198. TNT Pest Control, protecting homes and businesses across the Bahamas with expert termite treatments, rodent control, lawn spraying, and more. TNT Pest Control. You have it. We kill it. The Green Parrot Harborfront, serving up fresh island flavors, refreshing cocktails, and unforgettable waterfront views on East Bay Street. Visit today and see why locals and visitors keep coming back. Healthy and savory organic and natural, your trusted source for premium organic herbs, natural wellness, and healthy living.
Mr. Peter Murray to the show. Mr. Peter Murray, good evening. Welcome to Uncut 242.
Thank you, everybody.
Great.
So how do you feel? For the people who's just watching, and let us know about who is Peter Murray. Let us know something about you. I mean, if you want.
Okay. I mean, I grew up in the Bahamas, born here. My family's, I think 8 generations or something like that. Went to school in the States, came home, wanted to get into banking at the time because I was back in the early 90s and that seemed like a good profession. I worked for my dad on the weekends when I was younger, and I said I didn't want to do that, anything in hospitality, because I didn't want to work on Saturdays and Sundays. I got into the banking business, and after about 3 months of that, I said I can't do this work inside, and I wanted to be outside. So of course I got right back into the hospitality business, and here it is. It's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So I mean, I think it was good because I ended up in the maritime business over at Hurricane Hole, and then got into other things. Ran Atlantis for a while, then built Bay Street Marina out, and now we're one of the largest marinas in the Bahamas.
Wow!
So, but before you continue, Are you a Bahamian?
Yeah.
Born,
Born
bred, good
right
dad.
downtown, right there.
See, because most people, I think,
I was born downtown. My dad's warehouse was right on Chesapeake, right next to Kemp Road. I grew up there working every summer.
yeah,
Yeah,
he died hard. He
Yeah,
was
that's-
them.
that's-
He was
that's-
one of them
I-
hard heel.
I worked from Sammy's Refrigeration on East Street. I worked, on Mackey Street. Every summer I had to have a job.
All right. And see, I like the fact that he said that he could tell you exactly what was there even before.
Oh, yeah.
Because now some of those buildings aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So I hope you all are just taking some notes. So he been here a long time. He is our people. There's our people, all right?
So for the time growing up inside the Bahamas, like doing all of these jobs and stuff, before let's just go back to you getting into this Maritimes and also building this company right here,
Yeah.
Green Parrots. How was it with you? Was it easy?
No, not in the beginning. I mean, and this is one of the reasons I guess I'm passionate about this is because, when I started out, everybody, we tend to say no to a lot of things, and you can't, we have a lot of young people working for us now and in not just in the restaurant, but in the marina and the maritime business. And I talk to these guys and I remember, what it was like, getting in, out of school and wanting to, make money and get a job and everything else. And you're eager, and to not be able to have everybody like, well, you can't do this and you can't do that, you can't get a business license and you can't get a bank account and all of these things. It makes it difficult and you just got to be persistent. And that's been my biggest, I guess, drivers, maybe it comes from being a middle child. I don't know.
But I could definitely.
When they tell you can, I'm like, man, I want to do it. I want to make, and I want to, even in COVID, everybody was shutting down and everything else. And me and several other people in the maritime industry, everybody said, you got to go home and stay at home and don't come out. And, that's not what this business is about. It's, it's commerce. I mean,
so people, before you go,
because I was just going to say, because you said a key word there.
I pick it up too.
Yeah,
I pick it up too.
Listen, y'all, Uncut 242, y'all better start listening. I pick up on some things, but I can ask a question. Speaking of COVID, you own a marina. During the COVID, how did your marina actually thrive? How did your business thrive?
Well, I mean, obviously everybody remembers that. So the biggest thing was, we went to the government and hotels couldn't open, the cruise ships couldn't open, none of that stuff. And myself and others in the industry, we said, look, I actually got in front of the Prime Minister and said, we had Maritime has existed for thousands of years. And we've been doing this. We still quarantine boats every day. Every time they come into any country, they're under a yellow flag. They're under quarantine. They have to go fill out, POBs, the type of boat, but health certificates and everything else, which still to this day ours have yellow fever, bubonic plague. That's listed as diseases.
Wow.
Which we all know Athol Island was our quarantine island, so boats had to clear there before they could come into the which was Charlestown, Nassau, because it could affect the whole village and wipe a village out. Same thing with leper colonies. And, once we said, look, we've been doing this. I mean, even people in the hotels were like, you guys are being irresponsible. And I'm like, look, you do what you know. I've been doing this for 35 years. I understand how this business works and quarantine. And we wrote up all the regulations and everything else, got it approved. And we opened the country. And there's no doubt about that. Anybody will tell you that Maritime was the first business before, I think we started in May. And it wasn't until end of June that then some of the other businesses like hotels and Airbnbs were allowed to open. But and our simple proof was if, we had the question from the government said, well, what if they have what if they have COVID? We said, we do what we did 500 years ago. We don't let them in. Tell them go back to sea, go somewhere else. We had boats crossing from Europe that had been to sea for 17 days. Wow. They'd show up and because they wanted to get out of Europe and they were coming to the Bahamas and we pretty much knew nobody had COVID on board, after 17 days at sea. Otherwise, everybody would have, been sick. So, I mean, these are the things, we just used what we've been doing in the Bahamas for years, for hundreds of years, I mean, we've always been a maritime nation. So that's I think, we're what we are.
Well, recently they have been increased in some of the yacht fees and the docking fees here with boaters.
Right.
How did that impact your business?
Well, the truth is, so they raised the fees. They never came to the private sector. They also raised the charter fees. There was no increase in dock fees. There's an increase in the pretty much our dock license. So for us, we weren't, we didn't pass that on to the customer. We had to absorb it. And lately, with the lack of boats, we've had to discount our rates, like you've seen in some of the hotels and out islands.
So I don't want to interrupt you, but you're saying to me that you had to absorb the fee that they increased. So your business it didn't take a sting, but you personally had to absorb that fee. So
the businesses have to pay it. But
did they consult anybody pertaining to this, especially in the marina operators?
Not with us. No, and this is the thing is, and I say this all the time, man. We have 1,000-ton, 3,000-ton all ocean captains that I know that are Bahamian. We have engineers that are Bahamian. We have some of the leading experts in this transient. I tell you, I talk to a lot of people in software designers and other people in the industry, and I tell them what we want, and they haven't built a system for what we do because we're so transient. We've changed kind of the model that operates, and it's all because of our family islands. I got boats that come in and they're going, they might pick people up or pick up provisions. They might go over to Atlantis, pick up their guests there. Their guests spend a night in the casinos and the hotels. Then they go down to the Exumas. Then they want to see Harbor Island. So like the traffic is always moving.
So the money is circulating.
Yeah, it's going everywhere. Yeah, and it's I call it street economics because they're going directly to the cab driver, directly to the bar owner, directly to the provisioner and whatever it is, the dog walker, the masseuse, and the money's circulating directly in the Bahamian business.
Economy.
We don't, people don't think of it, but we have so many Bahamian-owned businesses in this country that are supportive to this industry. You don't see that in the resorts, and you don't see it in the cruise ships. But like for this industry, it gets so much money into circulation and I've been to every out island in the Bahamas, but into these out island communities that wouldn't ordinarily see it through the resorts or through the cruise ship. So this is a very key part of hospitality to our family islands. I mean, we call them family islands for a reason,
Yes.
where we all have family from somewhere, and every Nassau person will say, well, where are you from? We all know we're from the Bahamas, but where's your family from? Exuma,
Eleuthera,
Abaco,
Cat Island,
what I'm saying?
And we all basically connected.
Yep.
We
Well,
all have
exactly.
family somewhere.
Exactly. And that's the thing is people say, Bahamians are mixed up like conch salad. We certainly are. Every color, every
That's saying
shade,
it's true now.
every island, and all our cultures. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So, and even the people that visit us, they come here and they, Eleuthera people are different from Exuma people.
You're
right.
To people in the family islands, but we're all the
Yes,
same.
all
right?
the same.
So this is something that I think is very unique, because it gets, and this is what we did was we designed a map for boaters to go to all these family islands so they can go and they can experience these different things wherever they go, all the way down to Crooked Island. I mean, we talked about COVID. So we were looking for places for people to go, during COVID. They wanted to get away. I mean, 100-meter boats, 300-foot boats. We had them going to Anagua. We had them going to Mayaguana, places that they never seen.
I want to ask you.
It blew them away.
I want to ask you this. I mean, we have a tourism, and then we also have our government and stuff. I don't feel that's your job for you to be doing this. I mean, I know you're in the industry,
Right.
but I feel like the government should basically find a way to try to make it easy. We should not just depend on one industry, tourism. And
Right.
we depending on tourism, but they're not doing anything to try to make anything entertainment for the tourists to actually do. What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, Bahamians do it on their own. I mean, I can tell you, like when you go to family islands, they know where the blue holes are. They know where, like in Exuma, the bubble bath. They know where this is. They know where that cave is. Then they have, conch salad experiences and island experiences and all that. And Bahamians create it on their own. I don't think, the government can create that because, if you're from Ragged Island, we're going to show you how to make salt and beat what's the stuff?
But I said,
Bungee?
sorry, but I said, the only reason why I say that is because you are 100% right. So why the government don't make it easy for a Bahamian?
That's exactly right. That's what they should do. That's exactly what they should do. And this has always been our argument. Our argument is, look, if you make it easy for these boats to transit, then the money flows through the economy the way that it should be. I mean, we're, I think 58 or somewhere around there, probably more than that now, 60 something marinas all over the Bahamas. Wow. I once had a minister of transportation when I was very young, just starting out in the business, said to me, we need these marinas located all through the Bahamas. And I thought, I'm running a marina here in Nassau. And I said, well, what are you worried about them for? Let's worry about here, Nassau. But the truth is, every boater comes here. Nassau is only one stop. They want to go see everything else.
Agreed.
So in 2000, I was one of the founders for the Bahamas, well, at that time, now it's the Association of Bahamas Marinas. But, and the whole reason was to get all the marinas connected because I have guests that are going to Harbor Island and Harbor Island has marinas going to Exuma or guests, and this guy's going to Luther. So we're keeping in touch and keeping everybody, here's how you do this, right? And you can go and see all of these great places in the Bahamas.
But what happened to that idea?
Well, it was working great after COVID.
After COVID, so you think now
like people, I mean, we went to in November, we went to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, which a lot of us go to, the marinas, and it's a big trade show. And I mean, the other Caribbean countries were coming up to our booth and they're like, oh my God, you guys did amazing. Like, you're getting the boats going through, and they wanted to follow and emulate what we were doing. And the biggest, simplest way to explain it, we just made it easy to get the boats could go online. They could pay their fees. They could register. They can get their cruising permit. And then they could go and patronize all these Bahamian business through the family islands. And then, of course, the technocrats and the bureaucrats got a hold of it and said, okay, we can make that easy.
Well, we know what he means when he says that. Y'all know what he means. Uncut 242, y'all know what he means when he says that. But I want to go back
But they never sat down with, I've been flown to other countries to go and look at marinas and consult and things like that. Like people, I know what I'm doing. I've done it for 35 years. I've done the same thing. I mean, I think I'm a leading professional in this transient industry. I can name a couple other guys in here, that run marinas just in Nassau that are, equally as smart. And then we have technically trained Bahamians that understand the flag state and the clearance processes and all these, and they do it for multiple countries. There's no reason that we shouldn't have that. We shouldn't be a flag state for these boats, but it's just not happening. I don't understand it. I don't see the point to it, because we have so many more kids getting into maritime.
Yes.
Somebody said before, charter and yacht industry, it's an $85 billion industry, but 85% of the world's commerce is done on the water. Rivers, lakes, oceans. I mean, through the Bahamas, we got boats going through the Bahamas all the time.
Do you think
moving freight?
Sorry for cutting you off. Do you think the reason why they don't want to basically do this is because they know they want Bahamians to keep dependent, and they know if you go into this industry, they're gonna get rich faster?
Yeah, I hope not. I hope they don't do that. But sometimes I'm very suspicious about it. I have to say.
Let's be real. We know what it is.
But so I own a couple of businesses, and I can tell you, we recently saw people online talking about getting a business license and getting a bank account and all of these things that make it very difficult. And I just don't understand why this isn't the focus to get Bahamians young Bahamians that are coming out of school and give them an opportunity, because in this business, you don't have to have a marina. You know, you can be a flag state agent. You could be a broker. You could be a technician. You know, I mean, a 16-month course in diesel mechanics is a lot cheaper than a 4-year degree in college, and you'll probably come out making more money. It's a vocational career.
Wow.
And I can tell you, I mean, I have a boat, so I know what I pay mechanics, and it's not cheap, you know.
Wow.
In some cases, if you have especially a diesel or something like that, you're paying as much as you pay to your lawyer.
Wow.
You know, so it's these guys are making, you know,
a pretty good change. Pretty good change.
Yeah, it's a I mean, and that's why you see a lot of these kids talking about vocational training and all of these things now, because, you know, you could get in debt going to college for 4 years and get out and not make the kind of money that you can in with good vocational course.
Because you go into college, and then when you get out of college, then you got to go get a job to pay back the
Yep.
loans.
That's
for
right.
college, and
Yeah,
then-
more debt.
and
So you
times
wait 5-6 years is coming out of college, just trying to pay that debt back,
Yep.
just to get the degree, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, and that's the thing. The vocational schools are a lot cheaper, and if you have a good GPA coming out of high school, you might even find some of these bigger companies like Caterpillar and boat builders and stuff. They'd be willing to, you know, pay for your course to get you trained, because
Wow.
I can tell you in the Bahamas, we don't have enough, you know, and the guys, my friends that are technicians are going to kill me because they like having a constant market, but, you know, ACs, diesels, mechanics. I mean, I don't think I know a single boat plumber in the whole Bahamas.
Wow.
You know?
Well, Anchor 242, you heard it here first. But I want to ask the question. Typically, there seems to be less boats coming here to the Bahamas. I understand that because of the increase of the fees.
Yep.
Approximately, because you own a marina, how much money from the boating from those yachts not coming here, how does that affect us locally?
I mean, for the marinas, like, you know, when we were coming out 2022, I think we estimated that, you know, based on our own market survey, we were about $130 million business, just the marinas alone, you know, which if you extrapolate like what they spend in fuel and groceries and all of these other experiences in the local economy, you can't, you know, I can't tell you what they're paying for the limo drivers and the rental cars and stuff. But, you know, we had a roundtable with the Ministry of Tourism, and they guesstimated somewhere around 400 million to 500 million a year.
Wow.
So that's a sizable chunk of business for the country. I mean, that's what tourism told me. I can only tell you what they said. We know what we sell, and we know what kind of fuel, but still we were easily 1/3 of the hospitality economy.
Wow.
GDP. So
Wow.
that's a you know, when you think about it, we're a small number of people, less boats, less impact than the big hotels, the cruise ships, and all the other, you know, businesses. So that's a pretty heavy lick if you think about
Very.
it. You know, I mean, we're holding our own, and actually it was more like 38%. So we were above 1/3. But that's the kind of money that we were bringing, and that's money going directly into Bahamian businesses.
Wow.
You
Here
know,
locally.
Locally. Yep.
Wow.
And I can tell you, I run a captain's chat, and I see what these captains talk about, and sometimes I'm blown away because they know, like, people and how to, you know, get a dog walker down in the Exumas or a masseuse, you know, sitting over in Ragged Island. And I'm like, I didn't even know these people exist myself when I live here, you know?
Wow.
So, and provisions, like anything, you know, you think about it, like the boat is just a moving mechanical machine. Like everything's got to run. So they need constant, technical things. And obviously they have high-end guests. So they're ordering, you know, Mr. Roberts told me when he was alive, he said, Bahamians, 70% of their shopping list was when we had the breadbasket items. 70% of a Bahamian's shopping list is the breadbasket items.
Wow.
Right? The yachts, they're the other 20. They're like the top 20%. They buy everything else that we don't. So I mean, even as a Bahamian, I like tuna and grits. I like
so
peas
you
and
really
rice.
you get on the old school
Yeah,
experience.
so I'm buying breadbasket items if we still had it. I don't know what they call it now. They flipped around with it so much. But this is somebody that has the biggest grocery chain in the Bahamas and studies this. And he told me, he said, look, this is what they're buying. But these people are the top tier. They're buying all this other stuff that has the higher margins. So they're bringing more wealth into the country. And this is new money. This isn't money we created ourselves. This is money that we're adding into the economy. And this is what we need. We need this kind of injection because then it brings wealth. Not just in the grocery stores and not just in the marinas, but the boat washers. I know, a guy that had, actually he works on a boat now, but he was cleaning bottoms. He had a diver's card and he was able to clean bottoms on the boat, and he was making, quite a good salary every week just doing that. So it's constant maintenance. It's constant, jobs and opportunities. And that's the big thing, but we can't do that if they're not here. And we've sent a lot of that business to, South and Central America. We've sent it to our biggest mistake was sent it to the DR.
Oh, wow.
It was all going to the Caribbean, BVI, Antigua, USVIs. We sent a lot of business to them, a lot of charter business, which, they're purchasing very high-end items, but they already knew what we knew, right? Wow. But now the DR's gotten into it, and those guys I talked to a guy that owns, and Turks and Caicos, because I know the guy that runs Blue Haven. He's like, man, thanks. At the boat show, we kind of joke around. And he goes, thanks for, kicking the boats out, because now we've doubled the size of our marina and we've increased our occupancy by, 80%. And I'm like, wow, I really don't want to hear that. But
I mean, so with that being said, so again, Uncut 242, you all heard it. This is the maritime industry. You are hearing from a professional in the industry with a lot of other persons who are here locally that feel the pinch of this increase. Like, my question then is, why aren't the legislators consulting the marine operators? The marina operators, why are they not consulting these captains? Mr. Murray have a group with captains from persons that travel our islands and get contacts and have these yachts and boats. If he can do it, why did our Ministry of Tourism didn't do it?
That's not their aim.
Yeah, they're not just interested in that. They're interested in just receiving the money.
Yeah, they like that under the table thing.
Yeah, they're not interested in what the locals can feel in their pockets and paying their bills. I mean,
it seems to be an effort to, centralize the flow of money.
Yeah.
And this is what, but we've never. The Bahamas can't exist like that. I mean,
they shouldn't.
Well, first of all, we don't have banks on every island. So we have all
there
these islands spread out,
that's
and Bahamians need money in their pocket to do things. And trust me, I know I spend like a month in Cat Island every year. I spend time in Bimini. I spend time in some of these outer islands, Exumas. And if you think Nassau, people complain about Nassau, go live in these outer islands see what they pay.
See, this is my thing when you're talking about, Rachel. If we get the boats and stuff to now go to the different family islands and things, do you think that will help with development where people can now go back
Absolutely.
and do what they want to do?
You ever look at the second homes and the private islands and stuff? I can guarantee you none of those people were sitting on a balcony in a resort or came on a cruise ship and said, I love this place. I'm going to buy an island or I'm going to buy a house. They did not. They came on a boat. They either on a charter or they came on a friend's boat or something. They go, wow, I love the Bahamas. I want to buy a boat. I want to buy a house here. I want and you look at the development that's gone on in this country.
Yep.
These people didn't come here looking, it's the same as us. They see exactly what we see. When we go to the beach or we go to the family islands, we go and we see beautiful water and beautiful islands. I mean, that's what you can't see this anywhere else. I go to the Monaco show and I always joke about, because we're in the Bahamas booth and, Antigua's there in the Caribbean. So I kind of joke with those people. I go, you don't have what we have. And then I always go to the Dubai booth. They have this huge Dubai,
Oh yeah.
like inflatable booth,
Mhm.
and I go and I always look around and I go, talk to a couple people, and I go, you guys are building what we already have. And it's true. Like, they're building these islands out of sand, and they're building, and they have the money to do it. I mean, obviously we don't, but we don't need to build it. We have it. So why not showcase it and bring people here? I mean, that amount of wealth, like what Bahamian wouldn't want that opportunity?
But I feel also,
but it's sequestered from us, at these top levels. They don't, I don't know, maybe they don't trust us, I guess.
Wow.
Or embarrassed.
For 35 years you've been in this industry and they don't trust you? Shoot.
Jesus. But before we get to that, I feel if we do now go back to Maritimes and let more Bahamians go inside that, I feel now in 53 years, I don't feel us as Bahamians should still be renting in our own country, whilst every foreigner coming to this country and owning a piece of what belongs to us.
Yeah, but you look at COVID, you don't have to do much, just allow the commerce to come in. If you look after COVID, we had businesses that opened that have closed now, laundry. There's a place up here, they bought a building. They bought the building next to them, and now they've had to sell both buildings because they expanded, and of course, the rug was ripped out from under their feet.
Wow.
So they ended up getting into debt, and they lost both of their buildings. They started off small, and I don't know, carpet cleaners. I know guys that rent cars. that have cut down went from 20 cars down to 10 to now to 5, and everybody's scaling back. But this is, we didn't need, Bahamians figured it out. Like we're not the D average that everybody thinks we are. Like we can figure it out. Like, but just bring us that customer. We see so many times, you see it in the news all the time. These guys are always going somewhere. Like going here and going there and everything else. We should be bringing the people here. We're the destination. How do you go somewhere else and talk about, where you want to bring them? Bring them here, show them what, introduce them to who we are, Bahamian businesses, and that'll create the opportunities. But, taking it away from us, that.
See, but you say that you're a Bahamian, and you bring people to your home, but you have the voice to be a Bahamian and love your country, to say, well, advertise your country and bring people to your home.
Right.
These people that would we want to do these things. They're not Bahamians.
They're not proud of us.
And they're not. I just
no,
say,
I could say, I could call you in the maritime business. I'm happy to send, my guests to these other places and introduce them to people, because I know that, I've been in this business for 35 years. I know so many people throughout the islands that, that I know are going to take care of them. And it doesn't take much. I can tell you.
So you also said when you introduced yourself that you worked over the Atlantis. Now, I only know one marina that is at the Atlantis. And that marina in particular, I know that marina hold a lot of distinguished awards internationally for the marina and its size. That was also one of the largest marina that they had before. I think that it might be, because I think it's the aquarium. Bahama has the biggest aquarium, but Atlantis still has the biggest.
Atlantis had the biggest aquarium, I think, in the world, outdoor aquarium.
Okay.
Yes. And the marina wasn't the biggest, but it was the busiest.
Yes. It's the busiest. And you were the head of that marina.
Yeah, I was the head of the marina operations. So I ran Atlantis, Hurricane Hole, and then had a part in the design for the new Hurricane Hole, but also for the Ocean Club, under Saul Kersner and Butch Kersner when they.
So it's safe to say. So it's safe to say, without a shadow of a doubt, that you have been around international exposure, had numerous of consultation with people internationally about marina. Why wouldn't the government actually sit down and have a conversation with you to actually help us to build our tourism industry? It doesn't make sense to me to increase the fees for yachts and boats and everything of that sort. And you have somebody here on an international scale such as yourself to can actually consult to do this
for free.
Thank you, for free. Who is a Bahamian locally? Yeah. And I don't understand.
And
I'm here sitting at you and I'm looking at you and I'm saying, this man is giving away like information that we are actually are here and getting, and the government could do the same thing.
Yep.
Why have a
and I have guys that are representing, massive yacht building. I'm telling you, like one of the captains. I don't want to call any names because I don't want to embarrass them.
Yeah.
But the people in the industry know who they are. But this is a great big European company. They're well respected. It's like the Bentley of motor yachts, right? This yacht, this brand is known, and he's the face of their company, a Bahamian, right?
Wow.
We got guys in the industry from engineers. The current director of marine operations at Atlantis, he worked under me. He's equally as versed in this, this industry, and he actually had an agency.
Wow.
So
Okay.
which in COVID he started up an agency and then went back into the operations because their operations were affected due to COVID. They had to shut down. But he had his own Bahamian yacht agency, and he was clearing vessels, getting and we have other guys that are doing it now, and Bahamian brokers are starting to. They're coming along, but if we don't give them the inventory and we don't give them the opportunity, then what good is it?
Wow.
And we're just sending it outside of the country. There's such an easy solution here, and that's unfortunately, when I go to the Monaco show in the Med, which is very strict, compared to America's strict too, but I think Europe is very strict in all their clearances, border country lines and all of those things. So if you want to learn something about, we're not so,
Yes,
we know what Bahamas is and America
Yes,
is. It's right in
yes.
the middle of the Gulf Stream.
Mhm.
But like over there, you can go out on a day cruise and end up in Italy and be back in France. So there's you're crossing
Yes, crossing
borders and
Mhm,
things like that.
mhm.
So there's a lot to learn there. But those type of people come to the Bahamas and they love cruising to our islands because they don't have to worry about all those things.
Yes.
You could enter in Bimini and end up in Anagua and nobody is
Mhm.
checking and stop at every island. It's just it's so convenient,
And
they
each
also
island is different.
Yep,
Mhm.
and we should showcase that. It's just, but it's you don't even have to do much. Bahamians will do the work. We'll do the work.
Still doing it now.
I mean, you were in butler services and things like that.
Yeah.
That you can reach out to
And they
people
ask
for
for the
different
services.
experiences.
They
Yes,
ask for the services,
exactly.
and they want
they
the
don't mind
services.
paying for it either.
They don't
you
mind.
know?
But again,
So
is this something that the government is endorsing? Which brings me to the question to ask you: do you feel that the government, and see, and the reason why I go right back to them is because they are legislators. They are the ones that holds the purse that actually causes the trickle effect to the locals. Should they give more incentives to marine operators, including boat captains?
well, what they have to do is they have to give. We just need the inventory. They have to give the opportunity and they have to give the incentive to the boats that are coming into the country. Like go back to what worked, right? When we led the Caribbean, before these crazy changes, when we led the Caribbean in yacht inventory, and we built a great charter yacht show that rivaled some of the other Caribbean countries, which have now gone back up because our stock value has gone down, which I don't understand. We want to be, it's better in the Bahamas. We always should be better in the Bahamas, right? Like, but I feel like we're not, and we've seen it in the economics. I mean, in local businesses and Bahamian business roles that support this industry, I hear from people every day, hey boss, like what's happening? Where's the boats? And I'm like, what can I say? They made their choice. We said, okay, well, where else are you going to go? And they said, well, we're not going here. So wherever they went, it doesn't matter. They're not here. And that's the mistake we made. We shouldn't, as a country, I mean, I was always taught tourism belongs to every Bahamian. So you can't take them away and go, okay, well, we have 10 million cruise ship passengers. Yeah, that's great. If you're in that sector of the market, but what about us? And one of the things I talked about the Med, I hear about the fishing and I hear about the protection of environment and stuff. In Europe, in the Med, they have these massive efforts where small businesses, take care of sewage and trash, and these become all opportunities. I mean, these are things that nobody thought of, but it's there, and I just, rather than embrace it and say, okay, why should we give this business to someone else and let it leave our country? Why shouldn't we just, as Bahamians? I always said, if you look at the Bahamas, everybody got to go through us to go somewhere else, right?
Yes.
Well, let's stop them here. And we did that, but now not so much. We just kind of, everybody sails around us.
Luckily, you said that, when I was inside Exuma, like a couple years ago, I wanted to get in the industry of getting a sewer boat, and going to the different marinas, and also the boat was docked in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Just to go let them dump their sewage, like they suck out their sewage and stuff. But
Uncut, I don't see you doing no sewage now. You
No, no.
sound like you would hire somebody.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
But I'm saying we have so much boat in our different marinas and stuff, and not only in the marina, as you even boat from Nassau to Bimini or whatever, it's a lot of boat in the different marina.
Yeah.
Instead of them now putting the sewer in our water, we could have now a business. We could go into business, getting different type of boats and stuff, and go into these
to do it.
Go to these boats and stuff, and then sucking and doing.
But no, but will you
Here's
do that
the funny
though?
thing is-
That's what I'm asking. Will you do that though?
I mean, shit.
Because if he listen,
the money
y'all
is good.
know. Listen,
That's
I'm
exactly
telling you
right.
what, y'all know
I
how
know
this
the guys. I seen the guys in Europe that do it.
See?
They get out of that dirty sewage boat and jump into a Ferrari and
This-
drive off.
exactly.
Money's money, right?
This Exuma man ain't gonna do that. Y'all know Uncut ain't gonna do that, right? Y'all know that. You can hire somebody to do it.
But let's go back to what Mr. Maurice said.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Us-
though.
But
That's an
absolutely,
industry.
because this exists.
That's an industry.
This
That's a
exists.
job.
This exists on the Miami River. This exists in Europe. These guys, they have little fuel barges. They'll come and fuel the boats. They'll take the sewage. But here's the thing. In a lot of flags, depending on the size of the boat, they have to have a receipt. And, my, counterparts in the other Marines will tell you, when they come to me, I have to sign a security receipt, a trash receipt, and then any pump outs or anything we've done, I have to sign that because that goes into the ship's log to show that they've, correctly disposed of any environmental waste, any oil, any, that they had the right security. And this is why you see in these marinas, like people get upset when they come into the marina and they're like,
So
I
much
can't get in.
cameras.
Well, I have to have security guards and cameras and things like that because the 50-meter boats, it's required. They have to have that in their flag. So when they go to the Exumas and they go, where do you pump out? And everybody goes, well, there is nowhere. They go, well, this is very foreign to them.
So that's basically an idea I just put out there for everybody.
But we got to have the boats. We got to bring the boats
I got to
back.
go to borrow the pot.
So like you say, you
because
got to bring the boats back first, though.
But the great thing
gotta
is,
bring
and
it
this
back.
is what I say all the time, I didn't make this stuff up. I didn't create it. I just watched what everybody else was doing in the same industry around the world, and then said, okay, well, we can do these things. I can't, I have a marina to run, and I'm busy enough. I'm not going to go do the laundry. I'm not going to go, clean the carpets. I'm not going to run the sewer boat, but somebody will.
Exactly.
So that's a lot
and
of
those
jobs.
are supportive roles, and those are Bahamian businesses that pay taxes. I can't tell you how much money we've sucked out of our economy in the taxes that we haven't paid because we haven't had the business. You know, I mean, I can tell you in the marinas that I speak to, and I speak to a lot of them. I'm in Bimini. The past month, I've been in 3 other islands, and Exuma's included. But I can tell you the people that I've talked to, some of them have seen as low as high as a 60% drop in occupancy.
Wow.
Like, that's a lot of money, and that means all of a sudden one of the guys on the dock's getting laid off, and one of the people in the office is getting laid off. So it's jobs,
Wow.
and every business owner knows we're not the government, right? So we can't just pack people in and keep taxing the people and paying more and more people. We have to run, a business based on a bottom line. And so if I'm not making a certain budget and I'm not meeting it, then I got to cut staff, or I got to put them on half days. And no employer wants to do that.
No. Especially if you've grown to have it as a family and you
Exactly.
get to know them. You get to know
work
their
with these
kids,
people and you
then
depend
gotta
on
lay
them.
off
Yes.
just because somebody decide to not consult the marina operators and the captains, and then increase their livelihood. And then here comes the cutting off, the laying off, and all of these things. And this is why we had to have this conversation, because we want to find out in the maritime, because maritime in the industry itself, what figure, what number you consider the maritime is, because I did some research on it and they had so much zeros there. I can't count how
You
much.
mean
zeros.
worldwide?
Yeah.
Globally? It's in the trillions.
What?
Easily.
So we don't need to basically focus on one.
And you know what? It's never going to go away. Everything's, you know, we're you know, I used to, when I first got in this business, I used to, like, we looked at the power consumption, right? I sell my average bill is somewhere between $90,000 and $120,000.
Don't speak too loud now. You know Joe better come for you.
Yeah,
don't speak
let's-
too loud. I can tell you that.
Trust me, Joe,
Listen, you can sweat with Joe Beth.
Joe Beth should love the marinas.
No.
I'm telling you, my bill is $100,000. I know what Atlantis was because I ran them, that marina, so I know what their monthly bill is.
So you can sweat with Joe Beth.
For us,
you can sweat with Joe Beth. You can sweat with
we
Joe
should
Beth.
get a
You should get an award for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like how you don't think it'll be easier for you to try to put solar or do you have a generator?
Not the way that we use power. I mean, I'd have to cover 40 acres to produce solar.
Wow.
It's not reliable enough, you know. I mean, I have my own theory about.
You probably just don't have the space for it.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing: is you know, solar, you have to have the battery backup, and in some areas, some instances, solar's good. It works, like, you know, in a home setting. But you know, when I have 50-meter boats and even 100-meter boats, they're using so much power. Like a 150-foot boat will use $1,400 a day.
Well,
you know.
So
how do I? And that's just one boat, and I got 100 slips. So how do I produce that much energy from solar? And it has to be constant.
Well,
otherwise, I can't sell power. So when they shut it off, I get upset because I'm like, now I can't sell power. If you like me, you know, you've been a taxi driver and I take all the wheels off your car and go make money. You'd be like, how can I?
Wow.
Yeah, that's powerful.
That's very powerful. There was a gentleman, his name is Graham Weatherford. Now, Graham Weatherford, he was talking about energy and utilizing energy from the ocean and actually having these barges where you can get energy from.
But that's all experimental stuff. I mean, I'm talking, you know what Atlantis' power bill is a year? I can't even imagine. You know, it's in the tens of millions. I'll bet you, you know,
probably 5 million.
5 million a month.
Oh, wow.
You know,
shit, I just get itchy just now.
I'm telling you, you know, but think about that. Look at the size of that, and then look at the water tanks and the rooms that they have to cool, and all of these things, these systems. You can't, you know, a power barge. I mean, unless it's like the one they have in Havana that produces nonstop, you know, LNG power. Mm-hmm. You know, that thing never goes off. I've seen it.
Wow.
That's the only power barge.
Speaking of LNG, I'm understanding now from reliable sources that those tanks are inside New Providence now.
Well, they should have been in New Providence. Didn't we have a minister that said we should have had LNG? and then everybody laughed at him. But look what happened. You know, exactly. Yeah. We should have had it.
Why are we just getting it?
And here we are. We're just getting it now. And now the whole world's moving to nuclear.
We truly a first world country, but a third world mindset. I'm done with that. This is
the thing is, you know, I mean, anybody in this industry and, you know, the grocery stores or the resorts, I mean, even the cruise ships, if they ever had to plug in, they use so much energy. It's you know, it's not even funny. I remember when I first built Hurricane Hole with the new power system, we had old crow's foot plugs and 50 amps and stuff. And we were like, you know, we were moving to the new Hubble twist locks and everything. And we were putting in 100 amp single phase. And I was like, man, this will take us into the next decade. Well, within 5 years, that wasn't enough power. The boats had put that many more systems on, and they continue to do it. This is, you know, I get the whole solar thing, and I get the you know, wind turbines and all of that. Mm-hmm. But I've been to Texas. I've seen the wind turbines, and I know the kind of maintenance and the problems that happen with these wind turbines. So
you think? So you're trying to say it's going to be more expensive, or it's going to be more cheaper?
It's going to be more expensive For us, 100%.
So this is better for you. This the way it is working right now is better for you.
If they go into the LNG and the turbines, I mean, look what happened in Florida, right? Right in Fort Lauderdale. They had the big smokestacks. Every time I took a boat over, I'd look for the smokestacks and I'll go there. That's, now I know where Port Dania is, right? I know how to get into the inlet. They took that down overnight and put up these LNG turbines, the same turbines that they wanted to give us, and put a depot, just south of Cat Key. And we said no. That was over 10 years ago. That was over a decade ago. And here we are. We're putting LNG in now.
Back to the same thing.
A decade and a half later, and everybody's like, and
it's like, woo, something new.
Yeah, but we're putting in the cruise ships and the freighters are already using it. I mean, I was fishing the other day. I saw 1,000-foot a bulk carrier with these big domes on it. So I looked it up on AIS, and sure enough, it was a brand new LNG ship taking LNG from the Gulf of America right off of Houston straight to Egypt. I mean, they're already moving tons and tons of this stuff. So,
well, Peter, I want to hear from some persons that actually work in the industry of maritime and worked locally around your marina. So I see one or two persons' faces in the live audience. I want to ask them some questions pertaining to that if they would like to have a few words on that. Could we get yes?
Give him a mic.
I want to hear from, since they have been working in the marina, how has the increase has an affect the marina and them locally?
Huh.
You sit right
No,
there.
no.
You sit right there. You're right there. Look at that, you.
Yeah.
Good day. How you doing? 241 cut.
Yes.
Have no fear, Randy's here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. I had the prestigious time working for Mr. Murray for 10 years. And what are you saying with the pandemic? We had a skeleton crew. It was awesome.
Sound like that was the best time.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
had fun now.
Yeah, we had fun. We had fun. And what I noticed as a bartender, like, you build a relationship with these customers and you all become family. And it saddens you to see when they say, Randy, this is my last time being in the Bahamas with y'all. The boss said we got to ship out and go to Antigua, St. Martin, St. Bart's and everything because the fees increase. And they like people say the bottom line, the bottom dollar. So it was sad to me, and then it just hurting the business owners who try to keep the doors open and keep jobs running. It just is hurting everybody. I lost many friends. I had my phone. Some of them are German last names, French last names, and you can't really look for them on Facebook. So, unless they get on a different ship and come here, we lost a lot of people.
Wow.
A lot of people. For greed.
So, like you say, for greed. So, in other words, it affected you not just because you just lose a friend, somebody you had connections with over the years, but it affects you financially. Yeah. Through the fact that you won't see them anymore because, again, they're going to go find another island like the DR.
Yep.
And that's a very, very serious staple in this country that we know we have people that come in our waters and they poach. They take away our lobster, our shrimp, our conch, and all these different things that we have in our water. And then just the fact that the tourists are not coming here anymore, so our fishing industry getting fished out, right? And now we don't have the guests coming here to actually experience this through their private boats or yachts to get these services no more because the fees is too high. So they go and they find it in DR, they go and find it in Florida, they go and find it somewhere else in Jamaica where it's cheaper and they could get almost the same thing. Yeah, I would say. Mm-hmm. And just to hear that's sad.
And the price of the gas. Look at gas. We didn't get a gas break until like almost a month and a half later. Other countries, we had the billboard there. Other countries, gas fees was like $4 and we was up to $7. Wow. We had that extra money going.
But say something as far as the conservation, you look at Florida. Florida is one of the most successful I guess the East Coast, really, East Coast of the U.S., including Florida, is one of the most successful comebacks for conservation that there is. And look at the 100. We talk about was it 10 million or 12 million tourists? They have 144 million. You know, and their numbers are going up. But yet their fishery is one of the most successful conservation stories, because like you go diving off of Fort Lauderdale and you can see conch now where they wiped them out. You know, well now they're starting. It's still federally protected, but they've protected all their other fisheries. You know, they're not taking hogfish under 16 inches. They're not taking grouper out of season, lobster out of season. There's very serious penalties, and I hear these fishermen and other Bahamians say this all the time. They go, well, you know, if I go to Florida, I'll go to jail, but yet they come to the Bahamas. Those are poachers. Those are not the everyday and every single person. It's just like us. You know what I mean? Like we're not. People hear about the crimes in the Bahamas. We're not the ones committing the crime. We're just regular people. You know. So yes, those people that do that, and the marinas are very proactive with the government and the government agencies, RBDF, we're very cooperative to try and catch these people because we don't want to see it. Yeah. It's the same thing I said to somebody the other day with the turtles, right? I used to kill turtles and eat them. I ain't gonna lie, you know. But I was younger, and but then as I got older, you know, they said, "Well, you can't kill the sharks and you can't kill the turtles, but go kill a turtle now." Yeah. Theyese guys that run these excursions, they'll kill you. They make more money off of the turtles. And it's hotel rooms, and people come to see that beauty. Wow! You know, and this is something we you know, if Bahamians, we can protect our industry. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to give it away, but you know, it's just another opportunity for people to be proactive to do these things. But we for some reason, you know, I think this whole thing where we're gonna get rid of the boats so they don't take the fish. That doesn't make any sense. Because in the rest of the world, they police it, you know, and like every Bahamian always says, if I go to Florida, you know, they're going to catch me. Well, do that. If we catch them, let's make it, you know, a serious, you know, infraction, and people will stop doing it. But we got to get serious about it ourselves.
I think the only way we could get serious about it if we get rid of the condiments.
Hey! Yeah, we need to get rid of the condiments. Is correct. The mustard and the ketchup, we gotta get rid of them.
So, Brother Murray, would you say what is undermanned? Like we need more defense.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the. I mean, I know the success of the conservation comeback in Florida has been, you know, just by putting reasonable laws and checks and balances in. And you know, when I'm out, I don't have my own boat in Florida, so when I go out with Floridians. They don't mess around either. No. You know, if I want to go shoot a lobster, they'd be not on my boat. Yeah.
No, that's a fine. That's a big fine.
I ain't going back in and then get, you know, if we were the same thing when I was just in Bimini, both marinas I went to, they were selling crawfish on the dock, yet the customs officers were right there. Government agencies were right there.
Yeah, when they take their thing home.
Y'all can't just run that over our head and thinking I got to stop that.
But you see what I'm saying? Like if Bahamians got serious about it and we said, look, you can't be doing that in here, and I do it in this marina, and I know some of the other marinas have called for help from fisheries agencies and governmental agencies. And nobody shows up, you know, say, look, we got boats. These guys are breaking the law. Like, you know, somebody's got to show up. Somebody's got to do something. Yeah. You know, like if we take it seriously, then we can, you know, we can help police it. You all you got to do is, I mean, August 1st, I don't know what's going to happen out there.
But this
our fishermen are serious now.
Yeah. But all of this, you know? all of this goes back to you being organic Bahamian and having the love for your country.
And pride, right.
But you see these fishermen, watch what happens in August. If they catch these poachers in our country, taking their, you know, they're raiding their traps. I know this for a fact.
Now they taking the Bahamian fishermen or the captains now taking it to their own hand. I just saw a video where they was attacking a couple of the listen, your lawmakers, y'all please enforce the law. You're causing people take law in their own hands, and they gotta stop because now what if that Filipino or something had a gun? I just say it. Come on, man. Y'all are inciting criminal acts. The Bahamians are law-abiding citizens. That's why we're not a riot yet. But you all are causing Bahamians to get radical. Stop this mess. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I follow the fishermen, well, a lot of them come in and they, they unload their fish at one of our commercial docks. And I can tell you, I mean, I understand their pain, and they're like, there's nobody comes to help us. Eventually they're going to get tired of it and they're going to do something. You can only push people so far, and
Wow.
this is, I think it can get very, I don't know if it's going to be this season, but I can tell you a lot of fellas are they don't want to
Brother
catch
Murray,
any poachers.
make sure let the audience know what size they're supposed to catch crawfish. A lot of fellas think because August 1st, they just go crazy and catch undersized crawfish. A lot of people just grab them.
So that's the other thing is, I mean, it's 5.5 inches on the carapace, but those are the kind of things. This whole compressor thing, we got guys diving conch, shooting grouper, all on compressor. I mean, that's against the law. They shouldn't even have them on their boat.
Some fellas just can lock up,
and you'll fix half the problem because these guys are going out in we just had showcased the movie about our conservation, mainly the grouper schools, and they'll tell you the fishermen come and dive the grouper schools right there in front of them with compressors and everything else, and nobody does anything about it. So we got to get serious about that. But that's not we're not going to solve that by saying boats can't come into the country because not every one of them is the culprit. It's just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we go to visit places. I mean, it's like saying we're all driving around on jet skis raping people. That ain't the truth. Whatever it is in the news.
But speaking about that's a serious thing, and that's why.
But even the jet ski guys aren't all like that. So they get a bad rap for that. The good guys,
That's what I'm just going.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we can't treat everybody just because we catch one person doing it. Yeah, maybe they may be Dominican or they may be American, but that doesn't mean they're all doing it.
Yes.
I can tell you, like these bigger boats and stuff like that. People ain't getting off their boat to go 180-foot yacht to go poach crawfish. You must be crazy.
So you basically saying we just deal with
like
them
billionaires, poaching crawfish. You really think they're gonna go do that? It's crazy the things I hear people say.
So you basically deal with them when they're in the act of doing this stuff.
Well, yeah, but even I mean, I always tell fisheries. I remember somebody said something to me. He goes, "We got to go get all these boats and go out there and catch them and everything else." I go, catch them. Where do they go at the end of the day? They come right here in the marina. I'm walking through the marina. You go, hey, let me just see what you got in the cooler. You could walk from fisheries. It's right down here. You don't even need a car. Bicycle, I don't know. But you don't need all these boats and stuff.
Yes, you're right.
It's so simple. I mean, I was in Bimini in 2 marinas. I went over there to, go look at some stuff. And I saw 2 guys walking around selling crawfish. 2 Bahamian fellas. I'm like, hey, I didn't need a car or nothing. I saw it right there. So just do something about it. We always make these silly laws, and you know what? The great thing or crazy thing about it is the people that take it seriously, because most Bahamians are like, that ain't for me. Are the people, the visitors, and they're like, well, we don't want to come back because it happened with the bone fishing, it happened with the yachts. We're not coming back because it's too expensive or whatever. So they go somewhere else. And we've taken opportunity away from Bahamians just by, being not thoughtful about it. You know what I mean? Like just not thinking it through and talking to the people in the industry. I can tell you, like a lot of us in the marina business, we could solve the problem very easily. Like when we call the task force, say, hey, we got a boat here. They got crawfish out of season. Show up, find them, impound the boat, whatever you got to do. But to do something, don't just go, well, I ain't got a car, I can't come there right now, and hang up. I'll come pick you up.
so Bahamians, Agatu. This is Mr. Peter Murray, the owner of Green Parrots and also Marina on
Bay Street
Marina. Yes. Peter Murray, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Nope.
But one thing I have to ask you, because this is a question I have to ask before we go. If the Prime Minister, the Minister of Tourism, and the Minister responsible for Maritime Affairs were sitting in the studio tonight, what are the 3 things you would want him or her to change or ask them to make happen in the next 90 days to strengthen the Bahamas maritime industry?
Well, the biggest thing is they have to roll the fees back, but they have to put the fees in order so that they make sense. You know what I mean? Like this, it's become so. It goes from department to you have to understand. Like we in the marina business, in a hotel, the guest flies in and they get in a limousine and they end up in the hotel or a bus or whatever. You know, in the cruise ship, they walk off the cruise ship and then walk back on. You know, they're in a circular pattern or whatever they call it. You know, they always tell us that it's a circular something or other, which makes no sense. But anyway, it's a government thing, I guess. In this industry, you know, we deal with tourism, we deal with the environment, we deal with customs, immigration, and fisheries. So, you know, 5 government agencies right there, and depending on some other things, foreign affairs or whatever. So we're very involved in all that. And the problem is the departments are so detached. But even customs and immigration, like, you know, they'll get in arguments about things, you know, like they can't, it can't be, you know, they got to sort that out. Like they got to start talking to each other and then sit down with the business operators and say, hey, you know, let's come up with a way. And this is what we did after COVID. Fortunately, there weren't a lot of technocrats and bureaucrats around. They all stayed at home. So we made some progress. You know, the second everybody, you know, couldn't work from home and they all had to go back to their office, we got slammed. They are like, man, we're going to take this business apart. Y'all ain't doing this without, you know, in consulting this department and that department. And everybody had to get involved. And then, of course, you know, they messed it up. So that's, I think, you know, if you're going to be a leader, then, you know, organize it so that it all makes sense, you know, and it comes together. The Ministry of Finance leads the charge here, you know, and I sat with the Minister of Economic Affairs, and I said, at the end of the day, what are you trying to do here? Like, you know, are you trying to make it so difficult that nobody wants to come here? Or are you trying to collect the revenue? Let's do that. Like, it's just like what Bahamians, you know, opening a business. Let's like, let them open the business. When I was fortunate, you know, I got out of college and started working in the 90s when any Bahamian could get a business license. You know, it wasn't restricted and all that. Yep. So I got a couple business licenses and I started doing business. But even then I had to fight for it because the older guys were like, man, we don't want you in this business. We don't want you doing this, you know. And I see that with the young Bahamians now, and I feel sorry for them because like now you can't even get a bank account, you know, like, and anybody that's trying to open a business, you know, will tell you it's not easy. The red tape and I mean, even just filing your annual taxes or quarterly taxes is a mess. I messed up my password. I've been on the phone for 3 days and nobody's called me back. I sent emails. I can't get nobody to answer the phone or tell me, hey, let me let you log in. I mean, I don't know.
Peter, that's what happens when we hire idiots.
When
you hire idiots around the country.
I've learned, you know what I've learned a lot, Peter? What I've learned here this evening? I learned here this evening that the boats, because looking at them coming in, not the cruise ships, because cruise ships, I don't even look at them because people look at the cruise ships and they think automatically, oh, if we got 5 million people coming in to the Bahamas, that means we injected $5 million into the country. But locally, you're not feeling that.
No, they don't even get off the boat.
But the boat is registered in the Bahamas, but the fees which you book to go on the boat is in a different country.
Right.
So that means we still ain't getting that.
What I realized today is that your yachts, your private boats continue to come. We got the sun, sand, and sea, and we have the hospitality. All right. But again, the fees that is costing them to not come, that really does trickle down. Because I wouldn't mind cleaning a boat. I don't mind bringing some groceries to your boat. I don't mind possibly being a masseuse.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem doing that.
Here's the
That's
problem.
good money.
But the problem with that is the fees are so high that it becomes prohibitive to come here because you can get a better deal going somewhere else. And in the yacht charter industry, you know, you have $100,000, right? You can get a 100-foot boat in the Bahamas for 5 days, or you can get a 150-foot boat in some of these other countries that have our neighbors that have zero taxes and get a 150-foot boat for the same amount of time. So what are you going to do? Anybody's going to go, hey man, we're going on the bigger boat. And the owners, they use it as an offset. Nobody makes, these boats don't make money. Trust me, they don't make money. Anybody that looks at the balance sheet on what it costs to run a yacht with crew and fully staffed, it's not a moneymaker. All they're trying to do is offset some of the losses that they're going to incur. So us going, oh, well, they're making millions. That's total baloney, and it just shows. I remember I talked to one of a former person in finance, and they were like, in Ministry of Finance, and they said, oh, well, it costs $70,000 to go from Miami to I think it was the first Puerto Rico, and I go, no, it doesn't. How does it cost $70,000? He goes, well, we called and we asked. I said, you asked to charter the boat from Miami to Puerto Rico. He goes, yeah. I said, but it doesn't cost the boat that. The owner's paying the daily expenses anyway. It pays $5,000 in fuel. That's what it really costs. Wow. It cost him $5,000, but then he has to pay the expenses of the boat, the running, the staff, the insurance, all of these other things that go. So, that's, if you're going A to B, that's what you're paying for all of that. But the owner's already paying that. So all he's doing is offsetting expenses by saying, well, you can, so they didn't understand that. They didn't even bother to ask. And when they finally said it, I was like, this is why you think they're making all this money. You think that they're putting $70,000 in their pocket. We all kind of, in the industry, we all kind of laughed and we were like, where did they come up with this? We were like, they didn't even ask anybody. Like, we could have told them how the math worked. And it blew my mind. I'm like, this, and you're in the Ministry of Finance, anyway.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know we have talked for quite a bit with Mr. Murray. As you can see, he is very, very knowledgeable about the maritime industry, and especially when it comes to marinas. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things Mr. Murray and Uncut 242 have discussed was a lot of the events that just happens here. Over the past, 2 or 3 years, you've had events where persons were actually local businesses that actually
the Bahamas Charter Yacht Show.
What was it?
The Bahamas Charter Yacht Show. So we implemented a Bahamas Charter Yacht Show as the marinas and the maritime industry. But like I said before, there's all these supportive businesses. So what we did was we charge the boats, we charge the brokers, they come in, and then we have like a title sponsor that, Safe Harbors was our title sponsor. Hopefully they do it again this year. We had to cancel it last year because, we went from, 95 boats to 55 to less than 20 last year because the boats aren't getting the business. So they're not going to come here and feature the boats. If the boats aren't here, the brokers don't come. But what we were doing was basically for 3 days, we had a tent set up. It was $100 for the tent. So we were charging Bahamian business, and we had 44 Bahamian businesses, charging them $100 for 3 days to sit there and talk about what they do, whether it was, selling parts for boats or, whatever supportive role they were doing. I can't even remember all we had, Watlings was here and, masseuses and provisioners and all these Bahamian companies.
Wow.
It was $100,
Wow.
and these are, this is a great opportunity because these are businesses that don't go to the trade shows that I go to, because I got to get a hotel in Fort Lauderdale and then I got to pay to fly over there and then I got to pay to be in it. So it gives them an opportunity to get in front of these people. Smaller businesses, they don't, for the marinas, we have to pay a lot of money to go to these trade shows wherever they are. And so we were bringing the customer to them, and this, these kind of fees just ended that. So there's, more businesses that suffer because we can't, we're hoping we can do it this year, but we'll see.
Well, Uncut 242, I know me and my co-host, we would like to get to our second segment of the show. But ladies and gentlemen, I know Mr. Peter Murray and us, we will be talking more about opportunities for persons to get jobs in this industry and actually increase their financial opportunity for the locals here. So, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We're going to be right back where we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. This is what we call the hot seat because we want to talk more on what's going on locally because today some things happen today.
Yeah,
you know, we got to talk about that.
There's a lot of things happening.
Yeah,
so we just want y'all to continue tapping the screen and sharing the live, but we will be right back just in a few minutes to get to the hot topics.
Stick with us, share, and like.
You're watching Uncut 242, and this segment is brought to you by Uncle Dita's Natural Products offers a comprehensive range of natural hair and skincare products, including hair greases, shampoos, lotions, and various other items. For inquiries regarding these exceptional natural products, please get in touch with Uncle Dita's today at 1242-809-2198. TNT Pest Control, protecting homes and businesses across the Bahamas with expert termite treatments, rodent control, lawn spraying, and more. TNT Pest Control. You have it. We kill it. The Green Parrot Harborfront, serving up fresh island flavors, refreshing cocktails, and unforgettable waterfront views on East Bay Street. Visit today and see why locals and visitors keep coming back. Healthy and savory organic and natural. Your trusted source for premium organic herbs. You're watching Uncut 242, and this segment is brought to you by Uncle Dita's Natural Products offers a comprehensive range of natural hair and skincare products, including hair greases, shampoos, lotions, and various other items. For inquiries regarding these exceptional natural products, please get in touch with Uncle Dita's today at 1242-809-2198. TNT Pest Control, protecting homes and businesses across the Bahamas with expert termite treatments, rodent control, lawn spraying, and more. TNT Pest Control. You have it. We kill it. The Green Parrot Harborfront, serving up fresh island flavors, refreshing cocktails, and unforgettable waterfront views on East Bay Street. Visit today and see why locals and visitors keep coming back. Watching Uncut 242, and this segment is brought to you by Uncle Dita's Natural Products offers a comprehensive range of natural hair and skincare products, including hair greases, shampoos, lotions, and various other items. For inquiries regarding these exceptional natural products, please get in touch with Uncle Dita's today at 1242-809-2198. TNT Pest Control, protecting homes and businesses across the Bahamas with expert termite treatments, rodent control, lawn spraying, and more. TNT Pest Control. You have it. We kill it. The Green Parrot Harborfront, serving up fresh island flavors, refreshing cocktails, and unforgettable waterfront views on East Bay Street. Visit today and see why locals and visitors keep coming back. Healthy and savory organic and natural. Your trusted source for premium organic herbs, natural wellness, and healthy living.
Uncut 242, welcome back to our second segment. My name is Anton Powell.
And I'm Dawson Bullitt, aka Duke of Gold.
Listen, yo, that interview
Listen.
with
Hey, boy, listen to me. If y'all didn't get those nuggets, that on y'all. But listen, I would like to say, listen, I got some steaming hot news. Hot off the press. Like I said, I alluded to it. How the hell we can get the LNG tanks here in the Bahamas? Was this something what Leslie Miller talk about long time?
yeah, but this what these animals is do. They try dangle shit in our face and then they bring it to try to make it seem like they trying to do something now.
But then I have a problem with that. If y'all know this was something that we could have used long time, why wait now 15 or almost 12, 13 years later? This don't make no sense.
because they want to try to be. You know how our parties them going. They want to stay relevant. They want to make it seem like they doing something new. They always want to make it seem like they doing something new, but the only thing they doing is destroying this country. These bitches gots to go. That's what we need to get to that.
Well, you know it's something what Mr. Murray said, and it's very key. He talked about the fact that the light bills and the marinas are high. You could imagine that. So Atlantis, boy, look here, Atlantis, your light bill is be high.
So that means Atlantis could pay what they paying because they have
Right.
so when you're saying that when you go to Atlantis and you want to try to get a sweet Bahamian
The
discount or
Bahamian
whatever.
rate. Boy, you get no Bahamian rate.
You go,
What
you
Bahamian
know
rate you get?
they only say
They
that's
can give you a
Bahamian
rate, all right. You can get a rate, all right. But you can get that Bahamian rate. And that's right then in itself, it causes us to really think as Bahamians, how the hell did we reach here? Because if LNG, gas, and all these things are happening, who is getting the money from these things? We know for sure one person would benefit from these. The shareholders of Focal.
Do you know the shareholders Focal?
Yeah, we know them corn shuckers. We didn't know them. We didn't know them. The same greedy ones would want their hands in everybody's business. You can't go to them without an idea, without them trying to get in it. Politicians, your legislators, keep your hands on people's pockets. Let people live. It's crazy. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a live audience. And
We do have somebody inside the audience who want to say something. But before we say that, we want to say condolences to the people out there who lost their life. We had a young man out there who's 50-something year old. He lost his life. He was diving for conch, and it was alleged that he couldn't catch his breath and he ended up passing away. But I say that to say, why us in the Bahamas are so quick to say somebody dead without trying to do the necessary CPR or carry them to the hospital to try to see if they can save their life. We just quick to call everybody dead before even doing anything. That means if you pass out now by just having a seizure or just pass out, and if you're moving, I'm doing this and I'm doing this to see if anything all right. I just
you
straight to the
no,
mall.
man, you dead. You dead.
I need your because I need them.
That one over. That one
That's
over.
a big thing in this country.
That one over.
But this is the thing we have to do. We are so backwards inside this country, man. But we have somebody inside. We have one of the audience inside a guest in the audience who wanted to say something.
You could go ahead, Miss Erica.
Hi, yeah. First of all, I want to correct what Peter said about the charter show, the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-day event, and the vendor village is $1,000, not $100. So I don't want anyone coming and saying that how come we got overcharged. One thing I do want to say about the maritime industry, 7 years ago, I started working at Bay Street Marina. We had twice the amount of dock staff because the boats were coming in and out. So what usually happens is the boats come in, they provision, they get the florist, everything, the boat washed, and then they leave. And there's a boat waiting to come in. I used to be really good at playing Tetris because we would have a wait list. Now we are begging the boats to stay. We're getting them to prepay, a discounted rate for 3 months so that they stay here, but they're not moving. So there's no extra jobs for the boat washers. Almost on a daily basis, I have boat washers, rental cars, livery car drivers, florists, you name it, calling me and asking me what did they do to us? They're not getting business from us, and it's because the boats aren't coming. And it's really sad because they make good living and now they're all out of work. So
this basically goes right back to our government. Because we are now focusing on one industry, tourists. But they say tourists is one of our biggest industry, but what is the government basically now putting in place for tourists? Like what are they building new for somebody to come to do in this country? What is fun to do in the Bahamas besides drinking, smoking, and going to the church or going to a bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just not making it easy. We were at, like Peter said, we go to the boat shows, and Turks and Caicos used the Bahamas as an example what not to do to bring boats in. You can clear in online, you can get your charter license online, there's a flat fee. They basically roll out the red carpet. The fees are low to bring them in because the spend in local economy is huge.
Yes.
And so it's worth not having the high fees, and having the boost for not just the marinas, not just for the fuel, but for Bahamians. Like you said, the trickle-down effect.
Yes. Wow. So it's something that we definitely need to look at and actually increase. So with that being said, then, what if I were to ask you, what is the one word that describes the industry, the state of the industry right now? Give me one word.
Sad.
Wow. Uncut 242. You all hearing this? This is the state that we're in, and the maritime industry. You know what's so surprising too? We just had, I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks ago, they just had new persons in maritime just released. I think it was a cohort with they just released. What jobs are they going to get? You're trained, you're certified.
Well, that's a good. So we used to have 2 cadets work at the weekends from the LJM Maritime Academy.
Yes.
We can't take any. We don't have the work. We don't have the work for our guys. So that's the trickle down effect there. The charter show, we had in 2 years, we were overtaking the Antigua show that's been around since 1960 in linear footage of yachts. And then the next year, the numbers dropped because they hiked up the fees and they didn't want to come to the Bahamas. We had to cancel it this year in January because we only had 4 boats registered last December. So we had to cancel it. Like Peter said, if the boats aren't going to be here, then the brokers aren't going to come. And yet we were 2 years before, we were killing the numbers. We're exceeding what we anticipated.
So personally, what do you think? Do you think that this is more, it comes like, to me, if I was in that industry, it comes like it's a personal attack?
I mean, I guess, yes.
Because if that's where I make my bread and butter, and it's also helping the locally to make money,
I don't think they understand how many people are impacted. I posted it on the live. They say that you take a 150-foot yacht, it employs 41 people altogether, but the crew is only 9. So that's 33 jobs that they need that would be filled here. So that's the boat washers, the interior cleaners, the florists, the provisioners, the carpet cleaners. We have a carpet cleaning business here that he makes his own products, his own chemicals, and we would have boats that would come from Florida. They wouldn't use anyone in the States and they would only use him.
Wow.
And he's one of the people like, I just can't make ends meet now.
Wow.
We have amazing, talented Bahamians that make, in the maritime industry, you're making higher than the minimum wage, right? So think about that. You take a boat washer who would make in a day what minimum wage is in a week. So when they're going to the food store, they're not buying corned beef and grits. They're buying steak. They're buying shrimp. Well, that's more money for the economy, right? They're paying higher VAT. So to me,
so again,
it doesn't make sense.
But it goes to show you, like I said,
who's responsible for maritime? That's supposed to ask that
that's
question.
what I'm going to ask.
Who's responsible for maritime?
Do you know who's in charge? Who's responsible?
No,
That Jumbo Campbell, the same man that can't see. Nobody could find Jumbo Campbell. This man is a ghost. They actually give you a position. Mister, I even never heard this man's voice. That's why I know when the helicopter come down, they chop them up. You could be the first one on there because you don't even have a voice. I don't know what is he the MP of?
Boy, you call this Joe Mulco, whatever the hell he name. I don't even know who that is. Who is he?
Listen, a ghost. Because this man don't have a voice. How the hell you could be? No wonder why maritime is the pits. Because this man don't do nothing.
We are putting unqualified people in these positions just because you was my friend. That's it. That's why the country is going down.
Because you was my auntie, uncle, sister, cousin, son. That's what it is.
And also, I also talked to, I don't want to say, well, anyways, we talk to some people now where we have Bahamians who's not qualified around the world in these positions, making more money than I don't know what, doing nothing.
And that's a serious
no qualification.
thing. You can't say you are a consulate sitting down in these positions and then have your cousin come to the event or come to where you're supposed to be being a consul, and working and making almost the same money as you. Y'all got to stop this. Y'all milking the Bahamian people, and it's sad. Okay? Y'all need to get the maritime industry, the fishing industry together, please. Decrease these fees, not just because these boaters, listen to me, y'all pushing the people's buttons. Y'all pushing it. Y'all pushing it, y'all pushing it hard. All right? Y'all have to stop what y'all doing. This is get me flipping upset. So you mean to tell me now, if we had at least 15 businesses locally that actually benefited from all these yachts and businesses here, that's a lot.
You know what I feel? You think it would have been a different if we have foreigners coming inside this country doing the same thing with Bahamian doing, and you think they will more, it'll be better for them to make it easier for the foreigners? Or they just trying to make it more difficult because they don't want the Bahamians to get in these business? I just feel the government already have us inside this place where they want us to depend on them. If there's no dependency, that means they don't have the...
Yes, they don't have the upper hand.
They don't, exactly. So that means, but this is my thing. This is what I think too. If the government basically empower me and make sure I have every single thing I need and I can provide for my family and do whatever I want to do in my country, and I still coming back to you, and am I still going to keep you in power and make
you
sure
still got to sign off on my business license. You still got to sign off on my NIB. You still got to sign off on these things that I need. But yet still, these idiots that we have inside power, they do what they want to do and don't consult educated people. You are not educated because you are elected. You are a servant to the Bahamian people. Do your job. And right now, y'all are doing it poorly. F for you, Jomo Campbell.
Give me a minute. I'm going to call Trump right now and tell him I got fund, the helicopter, the fuel, they can pick these animals them up.
Because I just don't understand it. Utilities. I mean, Joe Bekobi.
Lil Kim.
Lil Kim. You
Lil
need
Kim.
to stop your foolishness. You need to make sure, pay back the Bahamian people. Anybody would have complained about their groceries and their fridge and their stove and things like that. You need to compensate these people back for their groceries.
Come down. She already gave you all $8.45. How much more you all
That's
want?
the light bill. I talking about food. What about grocery? They cost money. What?
Well, the $8.45 cover all of that. Well, shit, the 45 cents go to the food. The $8 goes to the light.
Sound like you. This is the same foolishness with the $11 when they say now they're going down on VAT. But the same 5% VAT when they talk about they going on the groceries, on the same vegetables and fruits. Stop this. You're still nickel and diming the Bahamian people. Stop it. In the name of Jesus.
But we as Bahamians, what we need to start doing, we need to, all the industries, the different industries and stuff, we need to come together. The Maritimes, we have the boats and the everybody, we need to really strike. We can't do it now because, you know, they're coming back at the end of October, probably the beginning of October, because, you know, they got they on vacation, you know, they get an increase before they go on a vacation.
Increase.
Whilst the lawyer can't get paid, the doctors can't get paid, everybody basically who's in the industry working on these things, all of these things, they can't get paid. But you who ain't doing shit, you could get a raise to now go around the world and enjoy your life.
But I also want to say that if we don't, as a country, as a nation, understand where we're at and where we're heading, because boy, look grim. I can tell you now, I got some nieces and nephews about to come out of school in the next year or two. What's going to happen to them?
And see, this is my thing. We only think about these things when it hit our doorstep. See, now you're saying that it's almost up that time now for your niece and nephews to come to. Not saying that you was never thinking about that. But what about the people out there who ain't having these problems and stuff and he ain't worrying about these stuff until it hit their doorstep? Us as Bahamians, we need to stop waiting until things hit our doorstep. If you see it happening to your neighbor, we need to stand up and stand with your neighbor because you right next door. And we so passive inside this dog, Bahamas, we expect them to do these things to us because only thing we do in this country is complain amongst ourselves.
Yep.
And then we need to stop that. And look at the amount of deaths and stuff happening inside this country. It's like a sport now.
Yep.
The death is like a sport. You can put a number on it. I bet you 2 or 3 people could die. I can now listen on today or tomorrow. It's like a sport.
They say now the holiday come up. You know what that's happening on the holiday? That's prone to happen on the holiday. Y'all stay in the hip home place because the bleach then taken over by the people from down south. So you have to stay hip home because y'all know y'all ain't wanted on the beach right now. But anyway, because they ain't got that much beach to go on anyhow. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to understand that as a country where we are seated around water. Beautiful crystal clear waters. So much that the astronauts say when they go up in space, they say they're sparkling. My God. It's a crimson sparkle over us. But yet still, we have a suffering maritime industry. We're suffering because they decided to increase the fees on the yachts coming here, increase the fees on the boaters of their license, and decide to put those increase into their pockets.
That's a damn shame, Bahamians. That's a damn shame. And it's so sad. And like we said, like at the beginning of the show, we are Bahamians, we are so talented beyond measure. There's nothing us Bahamians cannot do. We are so resilient, man. Anything they give us, we
make
like,
it happen.
We make like anything they could put in a place here, we could do anything. It's nothing to keep us down.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will be getting back to talking with Mr. Murray because we have some stuff we got to talk to him about.
We need a part one or part. This is a
yes,
part one. We need a part two.
We will have a part two with Mr. Murray because we will be finding out is that Mr. Murray is well equipped and he's ready. He's ready to help the local economy. Yes, he might not have it with the boaters coming in here, but he's ready to help the local economy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to know, continue to like, share, and be on our line. Because you know why? Because we give you all the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, uncut and unfiltered. So you all know when we come with you, we come with facts. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know.
But before we go, did anybody see, you remember the accident right up on with the car with the little kids there?
Oh yeah, right there on
Shirley
Shirley
Street.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been apparently now somebody went there and removed all of the
teddy bears
and all of these other stuff, and nobody is accountable where the teddy bear gone, who moved it, and all of these stuff. Who was tampering with these stuff? Why? And that is not.
So, man, listen, these people grieving, man. Why people so inhumane, man? Listen, grief for some people lasts years. Some people it lasts days. Some people it lasts months. But we have to be so careful of how we treat people, man. Those were 5 lives lost. And ladies and gentlemen, oh Lord. So our producer just tell us somebody just get killed just now. You all understand life is so precious, man. We gotta preserve life in our country. Where is the love, man?
But you talking about that in the Bahamas, in Nassau. We have CCTVs and camera and every community.
They ain't catching nobody, man. Stop talking.
They always, I bet you,
they ain't catching nobody. What happened? Did they catch the criminals who killed crack teeth yet? Did they catch the criminals who killed crack teeth yet?
Who's
all
crack
these
teeth?
All the
Who
drug
was
dealers.
Crack teeth, boy?
The drug dealer named Crack Teeth. Did they catch the criminals? And that happened in Chesapeake where all the CCTVs was because we had the road traffic department right there. Did they catch these criminals yet?
I also heard them talking about
that. Was a little baby was in the fracture of the skull and all.
Oh yes, I remember.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hold on, wait. But you watch where they go on live now to go talk about this. The police there, what they can say, spot shotters was detected and this and that. So how you got now to hear a gunshot from a spot shotter, but you ain't got sense to say, okay, then let me make sure the CCTV's cameras is up so we can find out exactly who these killers is.
All I can say is that Uncut 242, we really need to evaluate ourselves sometimes and really take protection of ourselves. Self-evaluation is key, you know. And not saying that meaning that you ain't being selfish, but you got to really protect yourself. Man, come on, man. Our government ain't protecting us the way they're supposed to.
We don't
Who's the Minister of National Security again?
Well, Wayne Monroe ain't there no more.
Wayne Monroe no more. Who that is? Anybody in the live bodies? Who's the...
LaRuda?
Oh, shoot. Say, ask LaRuda. Hi! Boy, listen to me. National Security ain't national no more. Boy, they benefiting hard off of this crime, boy.
Yeah, but then you have to understand, this is a big... See, Maritime making money for Bahamians and other people.
Yeah.
But crime now is making money for them because they own the morgues, they own the funeral home,
That's something,
all of
eh?
these things.
Boy, and the morgue making plenty money, boy.
And then you know the black market when
Boy,
it comes to organ.
Mm-mm.
Not the one where you play the piano organ.
Yeah, no, but even the musicians, they making plenty money. That's true, because they got to perform during the funeral. Boy, listen to me. Well, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, you can take my organ jaggers. Let's see together, Jack. Who want this? Yeah.
Well, they can need a kidney or two.
Yeah, I got that. God, give me that.
A question though, I'm understanding that Brave Davis, I can't call him honorable. I heard that he paid for 5 of those young ladies and the young man's.
Yeah, because they from Cat Island.
But no, hold on now.
They
I
from
understand
Cat
that.
Island?
Stop that now.
They from Cat Island.
So you mean to tell me the musicians, those 11 people that lost their lives,
They from Cat Island. He's the MP for Cat Island. Yeah,
Stop that now.
I will get vote back in. You think I get that? Make sure Cat
Stop
Island.
that, man. You mean to tell me he couldn't get them a couple dollars to watch their funeral, man? These people them going over the island was performing, man. These young people, man.
Yeah, but that was in Cat Island, sir.
They from Andrews, eh?
Yeah,
Boy, Lundy, you better do something now, Lundy. You sitting there being Humpty Dumpty, you sit on the wall. You better do something for those people. Those young people, they need assistance. Because that's 9 people live. I mean, that's 9, right?
That was 10.
That's
11.
Those 11 people, they lost their lives. Do something for them.
Lundy. I was just going to say that. Lundy go take the money from the Bahamian people to put up the crab statue. And how was that going to benefit Andros? But I want to talk about this. You talking about Lundy. When we was in Andros, Lundy had the people them, y'all. Let me tell you all this. Let me tell you all how this big, broad back Lundy, what he did. Lundy had the people them to dig up the road to try to put the pipe in. Instead of putting the pipe in, Lundy had a excavator in the back of the dam shit, digging up the road to put the pipe in, to put dirt right back inside the dam hole. Y'all can see some shit. So that means right now, Andros don't even have water. So if you're trying to put water now to save a local end, to try to give people fresh water, and Andros have the biggest freshwater reservoir in Andros. So you could basically sustain the whole Bahamas when it comes to fresh water. We could have a business go down there where they could contribute all of this fresh water to the Bahamas, throughout the Bahamas.
But yet again,
and it's natural.
Will they ever do this? Peter Murray sit down with us just now. He talked about industries where people can stem off and make monies in this industry. Are the government, are these leaders, are these heads actually listening to the operators of these marinas?
I mean,
do they sit down? Where are these consultants is? Why are they sitting down with these? I mean, and just as simple as me and you sitting here, we just talking. But are they listening? Well, I know they're listening because they have hired, paid people what has come on our Uncut 242 and actually run back and tell them exactly what we say. But y'all got to understand, y'all got to take some of the ideas and just run with it, man. Speak to some of these people who have been in this industry for years and do something with it, man. Stop just listening. Do something with it.
You better, like I tell Mr. Peter, you have the voice, be a Bahamian. You have the voice, love your country. All of these things.
They love
we have to understand
they
this
love
payment.
the money.
But this is what we have to understand, payments. And we can't be in denial with this foolishness no more. The people that we have running our country is not Bahamians. They hate Bahamians. They hate the country, but they love the money.
Well, you know that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we wanna say congratulations to the young lady who actually won. But she didn't show up here tonight, so I know. We think we should still give her this man.
Well, I just want you to know that.
The South boy.
But I just want you to know that the woman who actually wins, I don't think she's even in the country.
Man, listen to me.
That's what I want you to understand.
Why, man, listen? She might not be in the country, but man, listen to me.
She might have somebody. She might have somebody who.
If you are not in the country and you have somebody here you would like to give that ticket to, definitely, please do get back to us. The young lady that wanted, I think,
it's Vanessa.
Oh no, it's Vanessa.
Veronica Bain.
Yes, Veronica. Congratulations, you're gonna get this sauce or the soup ticket that is going to take place on August
Third.
3rd.
The third
Listen
August,
to me.
yes.
That day is going to be good, man. Listen to me. You
And
know
they
I
have
gotta
some
do
now.
this.
They have some good chef
Crab
now.
soup, chicken soup, sheep tongue soup, mutton soup. Man, listen to me.
I just like
all the
anything.
soups.
Anything with dumpling inside it, I wanted.
Yeah, but
Make
no,
sure
I think they say pig feet to it.
you can put dumpling inside that.
Blit. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure and on the note that we as Bahamians, we have to take our industries to another level, man. We've been now 53 years old, man. Why we still crawling, man? Why we still being babies, man?
No, what we need to do, Bahamians, and I am saying this from the bottom of my heart. We have it's only how much is 41 of the MPs?
41, yeah.
It's 41 of them, and it's how much us? 200, 300,000 us?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be, but
but
200,000 organic behaviors.
How much? I was just gonna say, how much of them are organic?
But we talking about the organic one, the raw ones.
Yeah, we ain't talking the one with come here by plane and say there's Bahamian. We talking about the ones with born, bred, and dead Bahamians. Okay.
But I said that to say we have to stand up.
Yeah.
But we can't stand up now. Wait till they come back in the House of Assembly and let's take that Parliament Square. Let's take we have the basically do.
Yet, though. Man, they ain't vexed yet, man. I mean, we just talk about this.
Man,
all these presidents of these unions and things like that's going on in this country.
Well, how much Belinda Wilson is getting paid again a year?
Boy, listen, Belinda Wilson, boy, look at they talk with your salary and sweetie, you making some good money, honey.
What they say 80?
Yes, you can need to free up.
But listen,
and do something
to talk about that.
Money now.
Now, we don't know. We want to know if Belinda ever got the man at BPL.
Yes,
they actually bribe him to go against the Bahamian people.
The president,
the president of BPL. Mm-hmm. Did you ever got bribed to go against the Bahamian people?
Yep.
Kingsley Ferguson, did you ever get bribed to go against the Bahamian people? This is what we want to know because it is. For the life of me, this is what I don't understand. Because I hate to see you always going down with these people them, and they have so much thing to do just to talk, say what you got to say, and then send the people them back home. No stickability. You ain't trying to fight for these people them. You only doing it just to show face. Because if you don't do it, they will get rid of you and put somebody else there. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel.
I agree, and that's his 5 cents, and that's my 10 cents. But ladies and gentlemen,
I can need my coin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to our closing of our show, of our segment. It was really good.
Yeah,
really
I really enjoyed it.
Nah, y'all gotta stick around for part 2 because you know.
No, we gotta have a part 2, and do you want to talk about our next guest when
But that didn't tell us sex though.
Well, talk about it, boy.
Man, listen to me.
Give them a little heads up. Let us know. Let them know. We get we doing big thing. And that's we also want to let y'all know if anybody who wanna advertise or you want to sponsor Uncut 242, please reach out to us because we need to get our studio. We need to do all this other stuff, and we also want to try get to the different family islands so we could really we don't want to talk about it. We want to go there and show you all exactly what's really going on.
Yeah.
And try now. We want to empower Bahamians. We want to empower any Bahamian out there, any young person out there who want to go into the maritime business or go into anything but trying to empower in y'all or doing anything out there. We want y'all to reach out to us, and we could reach out to the designated people out there who inside the industry to help y'all. Because we don't want our Bahamians. Look what happened now. A bunch of Bahamians now, young Bahamians now, again unalive on our street by being idle.
So could you imagine that? And that's the next segment we're gonna have with Peter. Because little that y'all know, Mr. Murray actually fostered and actually helped some of the adolescent kids into Maritime. So he actually helped them get out of this idleness and finding themselves in trouble, and actually brought them to understand how to drive a boat, how to anchor a boat, how to do these things, how to maintain a boat, how to do these just little simple things.
And you know
on boat, and they loved it, and they ended up finding a job.
And you know what I like? What I like about Peter, and this is my thing. Peter become my best friend now, and this is what I like. I don't hear a lot of people say
you know you got a lot of best friends, boy.
He was my best friend. But Peter is my best friend. But this is what I like what Peter said. Peter said that he's getting older now and he don't want to die with the baton.
Yeah.
He want to basically help the
Oh,
Bahamian
boy.
people. He want to go and you don't see that much people who actually
Saying
want
that or doing it.
exactly. And we have to understand
Hint, legislators,
exactly. And this is my thing.
politicians.
All of the knowledge that Peter have and all of the stuff that he's doing, he's now doing for for his country and the people that inside of it really goes to show you the love he have for our country and what he want to do for the next generation, the next generation. This is something he don't want just to stop with him or with his children. He wants this to go on for decades and generation, and that is good. That's what we need to think about. Why are we dying with the baton? When you die, you're not carrying no car with you, you're not carrying no boat, you're not carrying no money. The only thing you carry, and you really carrying no clothes with you because the clothes what you burying with, they buying that brand new.
Yep. Ain't making no sense.
So this is what I like about him, and I like the fact that he's a real Bahamian. He have love for his country, and he love what he do, and this is what we need to do as well.
Anybody who love this country and love what they do and want to share that wealth of knowledge, listen, we applaud you. We bring it on.
Exactly.
All right.
With that said, I just want to let everybody know we thank you all so much for tuning in to Uncut 242, coming with us, sharing the live, and letting people know that we on and actually supporting Uncut 242. Like I say, if you want to sponsor Uncut 242 and want to help us to get to the next level, like we said, we have so much things that we want to do. We want to try to get our new studio. We want to do all of these other stuff, and we need your support. And this is the only show where Bahamians have a voice.
Yes. An uncensored voice.
Uncut,
and uncensored, and unfiltered. So that means we ain't scared. And if we say something, y'all know I like to say a lot of things. Y'all know I got the facts. We got the proof. We ain't got that sugarcoating thing. Or alleged. And listen, nothing alleged if it's on the internet and you can see pictures and you can see the person you hear recording. Ain't no alleged.
well, ain't alleged that there's lousy dogs.
Because you're too like use that word. That's why the people that misgay y'all in trouble. Y'all like stop using these words. And y'all got the proof. And it's be right there. We know what time it is. The Bahamian people know what time it is. Now, some of them don't like stand up. But you know that's them.
Well, that's what we are for. To stand up, to encourage Bahamians to understand what else they can do there now.
Thank you.
We done ain't got shit. What else they can do there?
That's
what they want them to do. Take the air from you?
Yeah, but they say they can charge that starting next term. But ladies and gentlemen, we've had a wonderful time here at Green Paris. Like I say to you, for those of you who have never had an opportunity to come here, we're going to eat some of their food because I smell some food and it's in my belly growling. I know but him. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, coming up the end of this year, we're going to do a fun run walk, an Uncut 242 fun run walk, where we're going to have some of our sponsors and some of our panelists come over from all of the family islands. We're going to have a great time. Listen to me, I hope you're ready because, you know, we can do this just before going into Thanksgiving because, you know, some of them is like that turkey. They put on that turkey wing, and then, you know, they go right into December where that ham.
The only thing I can tell Mr. Murray, you know, we don't sugarcoat. The only thing Mr. Murray need is a bigger parking lot. And that's what he did. That's what he did.
Boy, listen, you trying to turn this man into Disney.
The food is so good.
Parking lot. Boy, listen,
the food is so good. The atmosphere is so good. The people are so nice. And let me tell you something.
Parking lot.
But hold on, wait. Let me tell you something too. This is for Mr. Murray. If you're listening, your staff is amazing. I was inside at the beginning. Everybody coming. Do you need any help? You good? Do you want me to get this? You want me to get? They are, listen here.
Professional.
They are professional.
Man, listen, there's a bartender in particular. Man, look here. When I saw her there, she said, "Hi, how are you?" I say, "Hi, how are you?" I thought the woman know me in Cisco. I say, "Miss, I might as well buy a drink from you because you listen, I tell you, right here, the Green Pirates, y'all listen. Make it a date. Don't be late now. Don't put nothing on my tab because I can tell them now. Don't anybody say Uncut 242. Don't add nothing on my tab. Don't come here asking that. He didn't tell me you coming, so you don't add nothing to this tab. Uncut 242. We got our little tab. We good. Just y'all don't come here. Y'all go in your little pocket and get them little coins. Bring them shillings right this way, all right? And if you have a boat or yacht, definitely Bay Street Marina is where you need to dock that boat.
The best. Right? That's the best. This is the best place.
I think never even asked him about the slips charges. Slips. You think he might be the cheapest? I think he might be the cheapest.
I think he might be the cheapest. I think
you should ask him that. But ladies and gentlemen, it was a wonderful time here at Green Paris. we'd like to say to you, thank you for coming on. And my name is Dawson Bullard, aka Duke of Gold.
My name is DeAnton Powell.
And this is Uncut 242. Over and out.
Good night, everyone.
On behalf of the entire Uncut 242 team, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's program and found our conversations informative and thought-provoking. Don't forget to join us again next week for another unfiltered look at the issues that matter most. Until then, take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful week.